how to facilitate a debate in the classroom. In this video, I'm super excited to unpack a very creative way and a very fun way for students to debate something in a really healthy, productive, and educational way. And it is called the candy bar method. It was adapted actually by my mother-in-law, Anne, who I will introduce to you in a moment after the intro. So I'll be sharing the candy bar method, and then I'll be sharing one paradigm shift or mind shift that I would strongly recommend inviting students into to have a really productive debate and not, conflict in a debate is great, right? You're actually manufacturing disagreement if it's not already inherently there. The debates get unproductive when that conflict becomes combat. This candy bar method is really powerful at diffusing some of that unproductive combat that can happen rather than that healthy conflict and tension that debates are really useful for. And then as a little bit of a bonus, I couldn't help myself. Will and I wrote a book about creating conversations that matter and asking powerful questions. And in the very back, in the advanced skills chapter, there is a section on debate versus dialogue. And I think that if you're watching this video, you'll really love that model. And so toward the end, I'm going to hold it up. You can take a screenshot of it. We're not going to do a super deep dive into it, but it'll definitely be a little bit of a mind thought expansion for you. I don't like fluff. By the end of this video, what is in my brain is going to be in your brain. Let's get into it. I said it was going to be in my brain, it's going to be in your brain, but I have to give credit to Anne, my mother-in-law. Anne, introducing Anne. How wonderful is Anne? She's probably going to be peeved at the fact that she's in one of my videos. Maybe not, I don't know. But she is a speech professor at Penn State University. She's been teaching speech and debate and has been involved in debate for longer than I have been alive. And she shared, we were chatting at one point over the holidays, and she shared this really cool method that she tried. She learned it from a conference, and I'm sure whoever shared it at that conference learned it from somebody else. So I don't know who the origin of this is. So thank you, humanity, for the idea of the candy bar method. So I don't want to get it wrong. I was, just had a quick chat with Anne about this over the holidays. And so I want to actually read you her exact description because I thought it was a pretty nice, concise flow of how it goes so that you can pick it up and run it right away. So technically the activity is called Our Candy Bar is Better Than Yours. Now it could be My Candy Bar is Better Than Yours, but she had people get into groups for this to debate on teams rather than just individuals. So Our Candy Bar is Better Than Yours. They worked in a team. Each team had a different candy bar. 1-minute speeches were given by each speaker. The first speakers of each team worked to persuade us that their bar was superior to the other bar. The second speakers of each team worked to refute the other team's claims and reinforce their own claims. And then she said, does this sound familiar? And I said, yes, I'm going to make a video about it. And so the second speakers of each team worked to refute the other team's claims and reinforce their claims. So you get the idea, right? That's enough to unpack and roll with this. Really relevant, right? As soon as you involve sugar, students are like, ooh, right? There's something there. But even though people might feel passionately about a candy bar, and to be honest, I ran down to CVS to get these. These are two of my favorites. If you ever want to get on my good side, send me a Reese's Take 5. And the reason it is the best candy bar is it's actually two candy bars blended together. Why would you not? Anyway, and I got this one because I thought it was kind of cool because I realized as I looked at it, Kit Kat sounded like chit chat to me. Okay, we're totally going off on a segue. So you actually have these candy bars in class. You might give them out. You could either have them bring their own or hand them out if you were feeling like spending money on your students. And having this debate is really useful because it gets them to practice the mechanics of debate, right? And taking both sides and refuting and the flow of debate without all of the emotional charge of talking about abortion, the death penalty, Republican versus Democrat, right? Without getting all of those personal and cultural and structural beliefs intermingled. And the reason that's useful is because the human brain is wired with a very deep need and desire and a fight, flight, or need to be right response. And in a debate, this can start to become unproductive in the classroom. Whereas, we're teaching it to somebody. If you're debating abortion in a high school classroom, you are not going to change policy on abortion necessarily there. And so no one needs to lose sleep over that debate. The point is to teach students how to productively communicate. And so shifting from this mindset of like, I need to be right, to a level of openness where, I think really great debates are, you have to study both sides because you don't know which one you're going to get assigned to on the day of, right? You have to be willing and ready to argue for both. Now that's really charged to argue for both pro-life and pro-abortion. Reese's, Take 5, Kit Kat, a little bit less charged. And so just a really powerful, simple strategy to create a fun debate in class. At some point, you can upgrade to what is an idea you strongly believe in. And another fun way to do debate in the classroom is actually ask this question to students. What is an idea that you strongly believe in? And then ask them to debate that and what their opponents would say. Going from enemy to empathy is a really powerful transition. And I think debates in the classroom have the potential to take people from that enemy to empathy state. Now, if you're curious about debate versus dialogue, you can pick up a free excerpt of the book and this chart in one of the links below. But you can just take a screenshot of this. If you're somebody who likes to think deeply and you want to think about creating dialogue as opposed to just debate, which I would argue in some ways, depending on what you're talking about, is way more productive, right? If you're talking about really contentious issues, a dialogue where you're listening to understand rather than listening to win can be a much more productive way to actually learn and connect and build bridges rather than walls between people. If you liked this video, you will love this video on how to make learning fun. And if you made it to this point in the video and you're not subscribed, what's up with that? This is a channel dedicated for leaders to educators to help make connection and engagement really easy. Put out a whole variety of tutorials on how to make virtual and in-person connection and engagement as simple as possible to save you time but increase impact. And so hit subscribe, ring the icon, leave a comment, and oftentimes my videos will have a question of the day, and that today is, what is something you strongly believe in? Drop your comments below and you might just win a deck of these We Connect cards. I'm Chad. Have an awesome day.